Deep within the Chittagong Hill tracts of Bangladesh, nestled amongst lush green hills, live the Kookie Chin people. For centuries they have thrived in these lands, their culture intrinsically woven into the very fabric of the region. But today, the Kookie Chin face an unprecedented threat to their way of life, their very existence hanging in the balance. The serenity of the hills belies a growing struggle. The Kookie Chin, once living in harmony with their environment and neighbors, are now entangled in a web of oppression and injustice. Their voices, once echoing through the valleys, are being systematically silenced. This is the story of their struggle, their fight for survival, their desperate plea for recognition and justice. They are the descendants of ancient tribes who made these hills their home, their lives intricately intertwined with the rhythms of nature. Their ancestors hunted in these forests, fished in these rivers, and cultivated these lands long before the borders of modern-day nations were drawn. But this delicate balance was shattered, and the Kookie Chin found themselves caught in a maelstrom of political turmoil and ethnic tension.
Life in the Chittagong Hill tracts has never been easy. The rugged terrain and unpredictable weather patterns pose constant challenges to the Kookie Chin, who rely heavily on subsistence farming for their survival. But in recent years, our struggle for sustenance has been exacerbated by a new threat: food insecurity. Rice, the staple food of the Kookie Chin, has become a luxury we can ill afford. The Bangladesh government has imposed severe restrictions on the allocation of rice to the Kookie Chin communities. This deliberate act of deprivation has plunged our communities into a state of perpetual hunger, with families struggling to feed their children. Malnutrition rates among Kookie Chin children have skyrocketed, their small bodies bearing the brunt of the government's callous policies. The elderly, their frail bodies already weakened by age, struggle to survive on meager rations. The very fabric of Kookie Chin society is being torn apart by hunger. Our once vibrant communities now shadows of their former selves. The deliberate withholding of essential food supplies is a blow that strikes at the very heart of our existence.
The Kookie Chin's struggle for survival extends beyond the fight for food. We are caught in a web of suspicion and fear, our every move scrutinized, our every action misinterpreted. The Bangladesh government has branded us as militants, our men accused of harboring separatist ambitions, our women and children unjustly labeled as threats to national security. These accusations are as baseless as they are damaging. Kookie Chin men are routinely rounded up by the Bangladeshi army, accused of being insurgents without any evidence, and subjected to torture and imprisonment. Our families, left without breadwinners and living in constant fear of the next raid, are left to fend for themselves in a climate of hostility and suspicion.
The Kookie Chin's pleas for justice have been met with brutal suppression. Peaceful protests are dispersed with force, our leaders arrested and imprisoned on trumped-up charges. Our voices, raised in unison against the injustices we face, are silenced through intimidation and violence. The Bangladeshi government has chosen to silence us through a systematic campaign of fear and repression. Our land is confiscated, our homes destroyed, our livelihoods shattered. This climate of fear has eroded the trust between the Kookie Chin and the Bangladeshi authorities. By denying us our fundamental rights, the Bangladeshi government is attempting to erase our identity, to assimilate us into the dominant culture, to silence our voices forever.
Faced with relentless oppression and the deafening silence of the international community, the Kookie Chin have been left with no choice but to fight for their survival. From the ashes of their shattered dreams, a new spirit of resistance has emerged, a cry for recognition that echoes through the hills.
This resistance is not born out of hatred or a desire for revenge. It is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Kookie Chin, their unwavering belief in their right to exist, to protect their culture, to live with dignity on their ancestral lands.
The Kookie Chin struggle for self-determination has taken many forms. Some advocate for peaceful resistance, seeking to raise awareness about their plight on the international stage. hoping to garner support from human rights organizations and foreign governments. Others, disillusioned by the lack of progress through peaceful means, have taken up arms, forming armed resistance groups to protect their communities from the Bangladeshi army.
The Kookie Chin National Army, or KNA, emerged from the crucible of this struggle, a symbol of the Kookie Chin's determination to defend their people. Composed primarily of young men and women who have witnessed firsthand the brutality of the Bangladeshi army, the KNA is a reflection of their anger, their frustration, their unwavering commitment to protecting their communities. The KNA is not a conventional army. It lacks sophisticated weaponry and formal military training. Its strength lies in its intimate knowledge of the terrain, their unwavering commitment to their cause, and the support they receive from the local population. They operate in the shadows, engaging in guerrilla warfare, ambushing military convoys and targeting symbols of Bangladeshi authority. The KNA's tactics have been met with mixed reactions. Some condemn their use of violence, arguing that it only perpetuates the cycle of violence. Others view them as freedom fighters, defending their people against a brutal and oppressive regime.
Alongside the armed struggle, a political movement has gained momentum, seeking a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The Kookie Chin National Front, or KNF, emerged as a voice of moderation, advocating for dialogue and negotiation as the path to peace. The KNF, composed of Kookie Chin intellectuals, community leaders, and activists, advocates for a political solution within the framework of a united Bangladesh. They recognize that violence begets violence, that a lasting peace can only be achieved through dialogue and mutual understanding.
The KNF faces an uphill battle. They must contend with the intransigence of the Bangladeshi government, which has shown little interest in engaging in meaningful dialogue. They must also navigate the complexities of internal Kookie Chin politics, balancing the demands of those advocating for armed resistance with the desire for a peaceful resolution. Despite the challenges, the KNF remains committed to its mission of finding a peaceful solution to the conflict.
The Kookie Chin's struggle for survival is a stark reminder of the plight of indigenous communities worldwide. It highlights the challenges faced by marginalized groups striving to protect their cultures, their identities, their very existence in the face of oppression and discrimination.
The international community can no longer afford to remain silent. The Kookie Chin struggle is not an isolated incident. It is a microcosm of the larger struggle for indigenous rights. Their story is a reminder that peace and justice are not abstract concepts. They are the essential foundations upon which a just and equitable world must be built. The time for empty rhetoric is over. The international community must take concrete steps to address the root causes of the conflict in the Chittagong Hill Tracts.
The Kookie Chin story is ultimately a story of resilience. Despite facing unimaginable hardship, they have clung tenaciously to their culture, their traditions, their dreams for a better future. Their spirit, unbroken by oppression, remains a beacon of hope, a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit. The world must not allow the voices of the Kookie Chin to be silenced. Their struggle is our struggle. Their fight for justice is a fight for the rights of all indigenous communities. Their story is a reminder that the pursuit of peace and justice is a collective responsibility, a journey we must undertake together, for the sake of the Kookie Chin and for the future of humanity.